Hello everyone, and today we have a very special video for you all because we got to take an early sneak peek at Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, the highly anticipated follow-up to Nickelodeon All-Star Melee, which,
I'll be the sponge, E.G. noob. So this is Helga's bee.
Oh god.
The cat dog wants to hug him.
Is
Anyway.
can both cat and dog hug at the same time? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, one thing about this game, turn the volume down once you get into the settings. It's so loud by default. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, so a lot of people have kind of called this game Nickelodeon Smash Brothers.
I mean, it is.
And that's pretty darn accurate. It is basically Nickelodeon Sponge Brothers.
Nickelodeon SpongeBob, yes.
Yeah.
Sponge Brothers.
Smash Brothers. And I do have to say, I am impressed at the variety of characters that they managed to get here. They did do a pretty good job, I would say, at capturing... Jesus Christ, has Nickelodeon been going on for like 4 decades now?
No, it came out early 90s.
So three decades. Because there's a good...
It's like a smidge younger than I am.
Yeah, it's got a good selection of characters from pretty much every era of the network's history. It's got stuff from the 90s.
It even has characters that are older than Nick by function of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, because there's Ninja Turtles, which even brings some... And they're clearly modeled after the 80s show. Even though
yes.
I think most Nickelodeon, like, younger kids probably would... know them more by the newer Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shows. Surprise!
It very much just depends. If you're older, it's the 80s show. If you're a 2000s kid, the 4-kid show. If you're like an actual kid, in which case, why are you watching our videos? But if you're a kid, probably the more recent CG show.
That was actually something that surprised me, is that there are very few characters in this game that are specifically from shows that have started like later than 2010. Like there's a lot of stuff from...
There's the 2 loud kids, and that's kind of it. I think the problem is just that SpongeBob took over the network so hard, very little's had a chance to shine.
Yeah, a similar thing kind of happened with Cartoon Network as well, where Cartoon Network also kind of had a lack of new characters in the mid to late 2000s and 2010s. But it's kind of gotten a little bit better in that regards. In any case, you're going to see me fiddle with my controls and not really know what I'm doing playing this. This is the first time I've played it at all.
It's not quite one-to-one Smash Brothers, because the way it controls is that you have light, you have heavy, and you have special. So you have 3 buttons instead of Smash's 2.
Yeah, you can do what I ended up doing in order to get my muscle memory to mostly work was not assign.
You plugged in the GameCube controller?
No, because I don't use the GameCube controller for Smash Brothers. What I ended up doing was I just assigned the strong button to a button I don't use, and then use the right stick, because the right stick also does the strong attacks, which are very similar to the Smash attacks.
Yes, he's sticking.
A lot of people, I think, will, and this is something that I ended up struggling with as well. A lot of people will, I think, struggle with your own muscle memory, because it's that uncanny valley of being close to Smash Brothers but not quite. And I want to stress that this is not a bad thing, because this game should be its own game and not just...
And it does a few things differently, which I really hope Smash actually does. Like, a thing you can do in this game is you can hold, I think, L on the default settings, is that you stay locked in facing position, so you're basically kind of strafing.
Oh, so that's what the strafe button does. Okay.
Yeah, so basically you can, like, if you want to approach with, like, a back air, effectively you're not doing, like, a weird pivot jump and then back air.
That is really cool.
And that's something I wish Smash Brothers would actually implement. So this game does have some unique ideas to its own to vary it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I can appreciate. My biggest criticism is just that everyone's weight-wise feels the same, which kind of sucks.
There's some slight things, like if you play like Reptar, I only played Reptar for like a match, because I just wasn't jiving with his controls. He definitely feels heavier. Like Sandy definitely felt faster. I didn't get a chance to play every character for this video.
Yeah, I played a lot of them at John's house, and they feel mostly the same. There's a few little differences, but like 90% of the roster just feels either the same weight or so close to the same weight, it didn't feel like it mattered much.
Who was your favorite character from what you've played?
I really liked Toph and Reptar.
You like Toph and Reptar? Okay. I liked CatDog out of everybody I've played. There was
We're
a
already
lot
doing
of...
the tournament. We're already doing the tournament scene, and I think people really like CatDog early on.
Oh, really? Wow, CatDog's top tier, yes. Not only top tier theme song, but top tier All-Star Brawl character. Up one day with a hoof and a purr, baby was born and caused a little stir. God, I can't say the words because the song goes so fast, but yeah, you know I'm right. Best theme song. Oh, this is the All Real Monsters stage.
Yeah.
So this is one of these...
that was one of the weird things I'm most surprised they brought back. It's like they brought back All Real Monsters. It's like you would have to basically... It's like, do you even remember All Real Monsters, Ted?
I do, sort of. I think one of the things about it is that it's one of the... Oh god, I can't pronounce it, but the Rugrats studio did that one.
Klasky Supo.
Yeah, they did Rugrats, they did Ariel Monsters, they did Wild Thornberries. So it was probably easier for them. Look at me edge guarding these these computer players. But yeah, so it was probably easier for them rights-wise. There are some weird character choices, I will say. Like, I said earlier that I was really impressed with the character roster overall, and there are a lot of things I like about it. For example, I was expecting like 6 SpongeBob characters or like all 4 turtles to be characters, and I'm glad that they didn't do that for sake of variety. With that said, there are some pretty notable omissions, namely, I think Timmy from Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron are both fairly iconic characters that they probably should have found a way to work in. I know that and it's weird because I know that dealing with Butch Hartman is troublesome for reasons that I won't go into on YouTube. But they got Danny Phantom in, and I love Danny Phantom, so I'm not complaining about that.
I think Danny Phantom just had more move variety.
That is true, but then again, he also can use magic, so I guess there's more stuff to do. Danny Phantom actually was one of my least favorite characters to play. I was somewhat disappointed. Actually.
I mean, I guess just thinking about it, it's like I don't want Jimmy. I want Hugh Neutron because
yeah.
we need to have, like, with DLC, we need to be able to have Nigel Thornberry versus Hugh Neutron versus Timmy's dad versus Fed Up with Life 4 AM Stu Pickles.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that they pick some strange characters. Like, don't get me wrong, like I absolutely loved that Helga Pataki was playable in this game, but I did not expect to see her in over Arnold from Hey Arnold. I guess part of it is they also wanted to not just have like young boys and anthropomorphic animals in this game, which I suppose is also fair. But still, it is somewhat weird in terms of the character roster in that. Have they said they're going to do DLC for this game, or is it one of those? There is and it has been data mined, but I won't get into that just for the sake of the video, and Nick and other companies not getting mad at us. Okay, so you'll have to tell me when the video's over.
Yes.
Then in that case, the stages also were fairly interesting as well.
They did a good variety on the stage. Like I said, there's like 20 of them, I think, in the base game.
Yeah, I also
I'm a little bit impressed on the amount of stages. I figured they would cheap out on that a little bit.
I also like that there's a good mix of like goofy stages and more serious stages. For one, I'm really glad that what looks to be the final destination battlefield of the game, which is the SpongeBob Jellyfish Fields, it isn't like just a flat platform. I do appreciate stages having at least one platform in there so that you can like have some amount of verticality to the stage, but it is also like a very, very clearly made to be tournament friendly stage. And then you've got stuff like the Ren and Stimpy stage where there is just
the history eraser button.
The history eraser button sitting in there. Oh, I was thinking of
because it's the space station where Stimpy presses the history eraser button.
Oh, I was thinking
that
of
erases his very existence.
I was thinking of the breakfast table with the powdered toast man, table. And you can drown in the bowl of milk and die. Yeah. Yeah. So this is me playing as Reptar. Again, I am fiddling with the controls as I go throughout this.
I'm surprised they went with Glove World. As a stage.
I guess it's just for the meme factor. There's certainly...
Was Glove World even a meme?
I mean, it's glove flavored, Ryan.
I mean, you can't get gloves for your glove action figure, but all the same.
Yeah,
I figured you do like rock bottom or something.
there are more SpongeBob stages than any other series.
I mean, fair. He's their most popular. He's their Mario, so it makes sense that he would have the most stages. Would have tied for the most characters in there, etc.
Yeah. There's Jellyfish Fields, this stage, the Flying Dutchman ship, and at least
Don't worry,
other.
Captain. We can buff out those scratches.
Oh man, we've already devolved into memes. Another couple of things I noticed. Again, it's impossible to not compare this game to Smash Brothers, and they're clearly not trying to shy away from the comparisons as well. It's very clearly meant to be similar. So I think pointing out where the differences are is important. Recovery isn't as free as it can sometimes feel in Smash Ultimate. Like, even the characters who are bad at recovering, in quotation marks, in Smash Brothers, feel like they can get back onto the stage just fine a lot of the time. Like, Bowser or King Dedede or whatever. Like, they're heavies, so one of their weaknesses is supposed to be they can't recover very well. But it often feels like that's not really a problem. Whereas with Reptar here, or even Sandy, who's a lighter character, I felt like I had trouble getting back on the stage a lot of the time. So I do think that is it trying to be more like Melee in that regard. Because if I remember correctly, the developers are big Melee tournament people.
Yeah, this is very much a Melee game rather than a Ultimate or 4 game.
Yeah, because it's just due to the way that it controls. Characters are a little bit... a
lot of characters have very brazen anti-edge moves that will just slam you down if you just try to just go right for the edge without really mixing things up.
Yeah, exactly. Which I do think is interesting because there really hasn't been a game out there to really like copy Smash Brothers and try to do things differently, or even just copy Smash Brothers in general. The only other one I can think of off the top of my head is do you remember that
Brawlhalla.
Well, there's Brawlhalla, but do you remember
Rivals of Aether?
Oh yeah, there's those. But those don't play all that much like Smash Brothers, don't they?
They're close enough.
They're close enough. Okay, I'm not super familiar with those. I was actually thinking of that TMNT game for the Wii, where you could unlock the Rayman Rabbids dressed as a Splinter Cell guy, Sam Fisher. Sure, I think.
Yeah.
That one was kind of bizarre. It always breaks my immersion whenever games make you pull up the Wii thing. But yeah, again, I do think that a starting roster of 20-something, that's actually fairly respectable for a game that probably didn't get that much of a budget.
No, this game clearly didn't have much of a budget because one of the knocks I have against it is that there's very little content. You're here to fight, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, which I mean,
which sucks a little bit because most fighting games trying to give you at least a little bit more single player content to give you something to do.
There's mostly just the standard arcade mode where you
you're just fighting. So
yeah,
so it's a little bit sparse on content. So it's one of those, unless you have a dedicated community or the primary demographic of young kids with siblings, they'll get the most out of it.
Yeah,
but if you're trying to get into some kind of dedicated fighter, you're best spending your money a little bit elsewhere, I think.
Yeah, thankfully there is at the very least an online mode, so it's not if you don't have
the online's better than Smash is.
Oh my god, really?
Sucks. Yeah.
Damn it, Nintendo.
It's not like Super Amazeballs, but it's better in most regards. So it's ugh.
Man, that's sad. That is really, really sad. Playing as Sandy was weird because she was so quick I didn't really know what to do. I'm not really good at stringing together combos. So...
Oh yeah, you can Bowser side as a Sandy with her lasso.
With the lasso, grab someone
off you jump off, grab someone, and then just kill yourself.
And they die before you do?
I cannot remember if they die before you do, but if you're up a stock, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you are right about there being a lot of really easy edge guarding in this, because CatDog had a really good one, and Sandy has the Karate Chop, which is also really good at edge guarding. I think that they didn't I think that... Is that considered a big thing about Melee over the other games in that it's easier to do that, or that...
By nature of the fact that in Melee you can't share the ledge. I can't remember if it was Brawl or 4, but one of the two introduced where if someone snaps onto a ledge and then someone else follows up, the second person will follow up and the first person will just kind of bounce off or upwards.
Yeah, I remember that.
Meanwhile, in Melee, it's just if someone's on the ledge, they have the ledge, and if you're trying to recover, you're just boned.
Yeah, okay. I see. And, I mean, I liked the way that that the newer Smash games kind of did that, because it's not really fun to have someone hanging on the ledge so you can't get back off. It's just not super interesting counterplay in that sense.
That's somewhat what makes Melee tournaments a little bit boring, is you just choose characters who are really good at that.
Yeah, I mean, also, to be fair, that game's over 20 years old. No, not over 20 years old. The game turns 20 years old, like, December. Or whatever. It's solved pretty much, you know. Everybody knows what the best stuff is. And I think the most exciting time for a fighting game is like right when the game comes out and you're discovering all of the characters. And that's
discovering everything, and it has the most normal player base instead of like 2 months out where all the casuals left, so you have almost nothing left but the hardcore, so you better get good.
Yeah, that was one of the things about playing these games as kids, was that nobody was like super
there was always that one kid, but it was always the one kid.
Yeah, and if you were playing the way most people I knew were playing, with items in 4-player, and on whatever stages you want, that one guy never always won. This is the Avatar stage, right?
This is from the season finale of season 2 of Korra.
Oh, of Korra, okay.
So there's two Airbender stages and there's one Korra stage.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, hi Fuchsia. But anyway, yeah. Oblino
Are you excited for the PC version where we can mod a Nigel face on everyone?
Do we have to though?
Yes.
Okay, so I moved the difficulty down a rung for this one just to see, and it moving it down to like 3 made it not even like try. Is Nigel any good, or is he?
I'm not like following it super closely. I just know that people think Cat Dog's pretty good.
Cat Dog's pretty good. Okay, so then I'm not that bad at video games. I can tell when a character's busted. Ban Cat Dog. I mean, what? Don't actually ban Cat Dog, please.
I doubt that. This will get played at tournaments, but I don't think it's ever going to be like the main draw. It's going to be kind of like the fun like side tournament.
And I mean, that's fine too. I think that
this game doesn't need to beat Smash Brothers, because it's not going to.
No, never.
All it needs to do is be competent enough and sell enough to say, hey, there's a market for more than just Smash Brothers. You can afford to make one.
Especially with Smash Brothers ending official support, people are,
because we're not going to get one for another 5 years at the least.
Yeah, and so there's definitely a market for people who want that kind of content, you know?
Yeah, so it's like, doing well enough to say, maybe give Sony an idea to try again, or, Sega or Capcom definitely have enough characters to do their own.
It's also just nice, too, to play a licensed game like this and enjoy it. Because here's the thing. I know that it was pretty common back in the day, especially if you're closer to my age or Ryan's age, when licensed games came out all the time, because in the past 10 years or so, they've really dropped off. But, the common, story is that, oh, grandma bought you a video game, but she doesn't know what video games are. So she bought you the Cat Dog video game, because you like that Cat Dog TV show, right? You must like that video game. And then it turns out the game was awful. And while that is true, I do think that there is legitimate excitement from kids, especially, to play their favorite TV show. And that's why video games like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat-em-ups and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom are so well loved, because when you actually do fulfill that wish to play your favorite TV show, then, you really leave a lasting impact. And granted, this is a little bit different because it's a fighting game, but I think that there definitely is a lot of space here that, I think it's okay to make a game for kids, and I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that because we're all 20-something or 30-something year olds, but I think that kids, especially who watch a lot of Nickelodeon shows, will get a lot out of this, and I think that that's That's
I mean,
really
I
cool.
think the slight problem is just that when you make a game, quote unquote, for kids, that usually involves the developers or other people dumbing things down, and it's like you don't really need to do that. Obviously, simplify things. You don't need to make it Dark Souls or something, but
Yeah, I think this game does a good balance
dumb, so.
for that.
Yeah.
Though. Like,
Yeah.
kids obviously can. I don't think that there's. I don't think that it's too dumbed down.
It's not too. I mean, it helps that, functionally speaking, people know what Smash Brothers is at this point.
Pretty much, it's one of the most popular multiplayer games.
You can show this to basically anyone under the age of 40, and they'll say, "Oh, it's Smash Brothers. I know what to do."
Yeah, pretty much.
More or less. So.
And that's one of the benefits of making many of the licensed games in the past very similar to the other games that come out. Like, if you showed SpongeBob to anybody who had played Mario 64, they're like, oh, I know how this works. Or, like, the Turtles with beat-em-ups, they're like, oh, I know how this works. And that's fine. I don't think anybody's playing a licensed game really expecting it to bring them something new gameplay-wise. And I think that's also okay.
Yeah. Like I said, this will do fine enough. It's a generally speaking good game. My biggest complaint is just that it's light on content.
Yeah, I also hope that in patches some things get added. The most glaring omission to me is voice acting. Like,
voice acting and the fact that after every match you have to reset your controls if you want to rebind them.
Yeah,
like let people just have control profiles, please.
It's like every time you turn the system on, if I remember correctly, right?
I think it's after every match, actually.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But with that said, yeah, I think voice acting is really important to make the game really feel like the show. Because, again, their voices are, like, one of the most memorable things about it. It's what you're hearing the entire time. And just not hearing SpongeBob say anything is just kind of weird. I'm assuming that it would be somewhat difficult to get, like, I don't know, the guy who did Powdered Toast Man or whatever.
I mean, just depends. It just depends if like him or Oklina's actors are even still alive. Because I don't know that shit.
Yeah,
that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, granted, if you have to use a
stand-in, go for it.
I was gonna say stunt double, but that doesn't work for voice acting.
Yeah.
Or if it does, then the wait, SpongeBob can reflect projectiles? What?
All smash attacks can reflect projectiles in this game.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, interesting. All right. Which character is considered like? Do you know which character is considered like the easiest to pick up?
Beats me. Again, we're way too early in the game, and I don't think anyone's taking it too seriously.
All right. I know you played it with John. Who was his favorite character?
He liked Helga a lot.
He liked Helga a lot? Okay. I, at this point, have not been able to watch his video. I'm a bad friend.
You don't watch all of your friends' videos the second they come out?
Dude, do you know how many people we know? If I watched every friend of mine stream and Let's Plays and reviews, I would never, like, be able to eat. Ever.
I mean, you can eat while you watch things, but thanks again for Nick and the developers for giving us a copy of the game so we can, look at it and talk about it. It's a good time, don't get me wrong. Just, make sure you know what audience you're going for with it is all I can really say for it.
I do think that if you were to have, like, a couple of friends come over who watched a lot of Nickelodeon at the time for, like, a couch session, I think you would have a blast playing this.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Bye now.